Solo Leveling is an anime based on the webtoon and light novel series of the same name, set in a world where portals known as dungeons appear, connecting the human world with dimensions full of dangerous monsters. To combat these threats, hunters emerge, people with special abilities who fight against the monsters to protect humanity. However, most hunters are divided into different levels of power, with the weakest being almost useless and the strongest being true heroes. The protagonist, Jin-Woo, starts out as a low-level hunter, known as the weakest of hunters. He is constantly underestimated and faces a difficult life, working just to survive and take care of his mother and brother. On a mission, he and other hunters come across a high-risk dungeon where most hunters die, but he miraculously survives after a mysterious event. At this point, Jin-Woo gains a unique ability, a leveling system, which allows him to evolve and become stronger, as if he were a character in an RPG game. The story follows his journey of growth, where he faces increasingly difficult challenges, developing his skills and becoming one of the most powerful hunters in the world. As he progresses, Jin-Woo discovers secrets about the system that was granted to him and about the world itself, leading him to a series of epic battles and revelations about his true mission. One of the most memorable moments in Solo Leveling occurs right after Jin-Woo receives his mysterious power, which allows him to level up and become stronger, a unique ability that no other hunter has. This moment occurs after the episode in which he finds himself in an extremely high-level dungeon, where all the other hunters, including the most experienced ones, are killed. During this event, Jin-Woo is forced to face a series of deadly challenges and, in the end, finds himself in a desperate situation where he almost loses his life. However, as he approaches death, Jin-Woo is surprised by a mysterious interface that offers him the opportunity to level up, that is, evolve as an RPG character. He begins to receive missions and tasks, which force him to train and become stronger with each passing moment. This process of evolution is gradual, but the big turning point comes when he completes a mission and, as a reward, receives immense power, transforming himself from a weak and powerless hunter into someone with extraordinary abilities. This moment is crucial not only for the plot, but also for Jin-Woo's development as a character. He goes from a devalued, hopeless young man to someone who possesses unparalleled power, and his journey of self-discovery begins there. Not only does he become physically stronger, but he also begins to understand the weight of his responsibility and the impact his actions will have on the world around him. This event is emblematic, as it marks Jin-Woo's transition from a simple survivor to a rising hero, and is one of the most emotional turning points in the series. Furthermore, it is a reflection of a central theme of the story. Power and evolution do not come without challenges and sacrifices. Jin-Woo's moment of transformation after his near-death in the dungeon is a profound reflection of the process of spiritual growth that we all face when we go through hardships. In the anime, he is challenged to the limit, forced to confront death, and in surviving, he is given a unique opportunity to grow stronger and evolve. This process of leveling up can be seen as a metaphor for the growth that occurs in our lives when we go through trials. Difficulties are not just barriers that we need to overcome, but crucial moments when God calls us to trust in Him, to persevere, and to grow in our faith. James 1 verses 2-4 teaches us that trials should be faced with joy, not because they are pleasant, but because they have a divine purpose. They produce perseverance, and this perseverance makes us mature and whole. Just as Jin-Woo, when challenged to evolve, begins to better understand his own limitations and the responsibility of his power, we too are called to reflect on how hardships shape us. Trials are not simply obstacles to our happiness, but opportunities to draw closer to God and mature in our faith. Throughout his journey, Jin-Woo goes through a process of self-discovery. He begins to question what it truly means to be strong, and soon realizes that his strength is not just for defeating monsters, but for protecting those he loves and fulfilling a greater purpose. Likewise, the hardships we face force us to look within ourselves and question our motivations. True faith is not an easy or unchallenged journey, but rather, like solo leveling, a journey of transformation, where God empowers us to grow and become more than we are. Jin-Woo's perseverance, as he is constantly challenged and forced to overcome his limitations, is rewarded with extraordinary power and abilities. This is similar to what James teaches us. Perseverance through hardship prepares us for something greater, something we could not achieve without going through the process of maturing. Every trial is an opportunity to become more like Christ, to reflect his image in our actions and attitudes. Furthermore, the power that Jin-Woo receives is not just a matter of physical strength, but of responsibility. He begins to realize that with great power comes great responsibility. This lesson is crucial for any Christian. We are not called to grow for our own benefit alone, but to serve others and fulfill God's purpose for us. Spiritual growth, like Jin-Woo's growth, is not just a journey of personal achievement, but a journey of service and love for others. Thus, Jin-Woo's transformation can be seen as a reflection of what happens in our lives when we endure hardships with faith and perseverance. As we face life struggles, God gives us the opportunity to grow, to become stronger, more mature, and more complete in our faith. Like Jin-Woo, who becomes more than just a hunter, we too are called to become more than we are, through God's grace, being conformed to the image of Christ. Trials, far from defeating us, prepare us for something greater, something that goes beyond what we can see or understand at the moment.